I was asked if there was ever a time in my life that I was really aware of the faithfulness of God. And by the time I've reached the age I have reached, I've had quite a few of those experiences. They weren't always times of crisis, but they often were. One time I remember in particular was when my husband had a heart attack, and the hospital had told me to go on home. He was going to be okay for the evening. And by the time I got home, they called me to come back. Then they wanted to have a telephone number for me to call somebody to come be with me. And I said, it was 3 o'clock in the morning. I didn't want to bother anybody. And I said, I have somebody with me. And that was God.
I read the question, what does faithfulness mean to me? And I looked faithfulness up in the dictionary, and it talked about being constant. And that really spoke to me. I'm a person who is very constant in the way I do things, the way I approach life. I'm the one who always starts the week with a full tank of gas in the car, plenty of groceries in the pantry, and clean clothes in the closet every week. And I approach my prayer life in much the same way. I even say sometimes to God, I know you must be tired of hearing this same request or this same situation again, but I find that the more you speak to God and the more you ask for His guidance, He will give it to you.
I feel like my faithfulness has also been developed through my involvement in the church. Maybe not so much in the traditional ways. There are certain things about life in the church that I just love. I grew up in the church, and missions and involvement have always been just a big part of my life, and I get so much joy from those things. But what has really developed my faithfulness is being involved in the things that I don't enjoy so much. We all have parts of our church life that just aren't our favorites. For me, it might be, volunteering with a particular group that they're not my friends, or being asked to do specific service projects that maybe aren't my favorite, like yard work. And I think that we develop our faithfulness when we trust that God has a plan for us, and that we're willing to branch out and do some things that aren't necessarily in our comfort zone, knowing that God has us exactly where He wants us to be.
But when I think about faithfulness, I think about the word faith. And to be faithful, you can be faithful in brushing your teeth, you can be faithful in a lot of things. But I think God is faithful to always be there when I reach out for Him. He is truly that.